Metroid, the cursed and groundbreaking franchise. Since its inception on this day 30 years ago in 1986, it has been living in the shadows of Nintendo's giants, Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Despite serving the role of a smaller sister, it has still delivered us some of the greatest titles in video game history and introduced us to a complex universe full of intergalactic factions, technological advancements, intrigues, conflicts, and struggle for survival. In the middle of it stands Samus Aran, an isolated female bounty hunter waging balance in a war-ridden galaxy, where the division of good and evil is not as clear as it might appear on the surface.
Following Mother Brain's betrayal of her intelligent and bird-like Chozo masters, FS-176 Zebes fell into the hands of the ruthless space pirates. As a result, Samus Aran, a young officer of the Galactic Federation Police, was forced to abandon what had been her home ever since Commander Ridley's deadly ambush on K2L, a lush and green Federation mining colony in the year of Cosmos 2058. The marauding space pirates were ruthless, sparing none of the colonists. That included Samus's father, colony leader Rodney Aran, who blew himself up on the invading space pirate flagship, and mother Virginia Aran, who protected 3-year-old Samus from Ridley's deadly claws. Luckily, a member of the Chozo race, Old Bird from Zebes, rescued the orphan child. Over the next years, Old Bird, Grey Voice, and the biological supercomputer Mother Brain took care of the child. They infused her with Chozo DNA, subdued her to inhumane Chozo warrior training, and granted a custom-built Chozo organic power suit, a relic of their distant militaristic past.
With their training complete, the Protector of the Galaxy left the Chozo and joined the Galactic Federation Police, a division of the Trade and Military Federation set up to combat the marauding space pirate raids on cargo vessels in the year of Cosmos 2003. Samus remained at this position for a short while, but was soon convinced by Commander Adam Malkovich to join his crew on his Galactic Federation battleship. At first, it seemed as though Samus had found her place, befriending co-soldier Anthony Higgs and Adam's brother, Ian. However, the individualistic and restless space warrior was an outsider who refused to settle. This became apparent after a failed rescue mission killed Ian. This unfortunate incident led the young warrior to abandon her post and pursue a career as an independent bounty hunter. Over the next years as the Hunter, she cemented her position as the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Sorry, Boba Fett. Not long after a Federation vessel fell victim to the Chozo-engineered biological weapon, Metroids originally created to combat the deadly X-parasite on planet SR-388.
Another team was sent to secure the Metroids for research purposes, but was raided and killed by space pirates, who brought them to Mother Brain for harvesting. A series of Metroid attacks against the Federation followed, but after extensive searches, the pirate activity was tracked to planet FS-176 Zebes. An ill-fated invasion was launched. When this failed, they summoned Samus Aran for her Zero mission. The bounty hunter arrived on the grim and desolate surface and quickly realized that Mother Brain and the space pirates had turned the planet into a vicious fortress. Angered by this fact, she did not look around, but fought her way down to Brinstar's volcanic depths and defeated Ridley's comrade, space pirate Kraid. The commander of the space pirates, Ridley, was notified about Samus's presence, headed directly back to Zebes, and encountered the bounty hunter in the depths of the caverns of Norfair.
By delivering the final blow to the space dragon, Samus Aran had finally avenged the death of her parents. Despite expecting strong opposition from the space pirates at Turian, she was shocked to find the space pirates massacred by Metroids. Seeing the threat the Metroids posed, she sorted them out and progressed towards Mother Brain and launched her entire arsenal of missiles until the self-aware biological computer was no more. Samus evacuated from the underground facility. Following the destruction of the pirate base, a dogfight ensued, where the hunter was shot down and forced to crash land.
From the wreck of her gunship, she sneaked through the pirate mothership to the ruins of the ancient Chozo Temple, Chozodia, blew up the pirate mothership, and escaped from Zebes by stealing one of the pirate fighters. The mission was accomplished. However, 3 other pirate frigates filled with Metroid specimens, Orpheon, Syriacus, and Vol Paragom, were still in Zebes' orbit and managed to retreat from the planet. Over the next few months, pirate activity declined to a point where the bounty hunter had to traverse the entire galaxy to find new contracts. This state of matters would lead her to a distress call from a space station orbiting the unknown planet, Talon 4. It was the Orpheon, and with its imminent meltdown and destruction of its reactor core, she was faced by an unpleasant sight: Meta Ridley. Samus tailed the resurrected space dragon down to Talon 4 and discovered that a Leviathan meteorite from planet Phase had caused the highly toxic chemical Phazon to corrupt and kill the planet's wildlife and its former Chozo inhabitants.
While exploring the roots of this lost civilization, Samus fought her way down to the pirate stronghold, the Phazon or Metroid mines, and defeated the mutated Omega pirate, causing her power suit to be absorbed with Phazon. She then set course towards the impact crater, but Meta Ridley dropped in to ruin the party. The angered Samus showed her arch-nemesis who was boss, overloaded the giant enemy crab in the impact crater, and then the Metroid Prime hiding inside it. In a final desperate move, the dying Metroid pulled off her Phazon suit, leading to the creation of Dark Samus.
Prior to confronting her double, Samus would take part in a scavenger hunt for an ultimate power against 6 other bounty hunters, including her rival Silex. After a long struggle, she gained access to the oubliette in the Alimbic cluster, defeated the ancient beast Goria, and captured the Omega Cannon, the ultimate power spoken of.
Galactic Federation troopers investigating space pirate activity are missing. Contact with the troopers lost 8 days ago. Locate the troopers and render assistance if necessary.
The bounty hunter arrived too late to rescue the possessed Bravo team and found the highly unstable ether infested by the Ing and Dark Samus. Just like Talon 4, a meteorite sent from Phase had struck ether. The rapidly spreading Phazon fused with the planetary energy, causing a trans-dimensional flux, splitting ether into 2 planets that shared the same area of space. The Ing from Dark Ether brutally conquered Light Ether, drained its light energy, and exterminated most of the planet's inhabitants, the Luminoth, while its survivors retreated into hibernation in the Great Temple. By Samus's arrival, only the Sentinel Umos was awake, as he pleaded the Hunter for help to combat the Ing and restore light to Aether's 4 temples. This would by no means be an easy task to accomplish, as the bounty hunter had to travel through interdimensional portals to the life-draining Dark Ether in order to reclaim the stolen light and learn the tragic fate of the fallen Luminoth Temple Guardians.
Grateful for the effort, Umos granted Samus the light suit to liberate Aether from its plague. Samus stormed the Ing Sky Temple, murdered Emperor Ing, and drained the last of the stolen energy, causing the dimension to crumble and barely escape the collapse of Dark Aether after defeating Dark Samus. She returned back to a hero's welcome, but left the Luminoth without uttering a single word. 6 months transpired, and Samus was summoned by Galactic Federation Admiral Dane, along with other bounty hunters, Gandrada, Gore, and Rundas, to retrieve the organic supercomputer Aurora 313 that had been stolen by space pirates and cleared the virus they had installed.
Making a long story short, space pirates interrupted the briefing. Samus was then ambushed by Meta Ridley on planet Nurian and saved by Rundas, just to be knocked out by Dark Samus, who corrupted all the bounty hunters with Phazon. Taking advantage of this, Federation scientists installed a Phazon enhancement device to Samus's power suit, as her body was self-producing Phazon. She was then ordered to destroy the Leviathan seeds of Bryo, the ancient Chozo Sky Town on planet Elysia, and later the pirate homeworld, and locate the missing bounty hunters. All of them had been utterly corrupted by Phazon, forcing Samus to battle each one of them, including her personal friend Rundas. The restored Aurora 217 unit of Elysia discovered crucial information from hidden Chozo artifacts in Skytown, setting the stage for the Federation invasion of the pirate homeworld. Upon Omega Ridley's defeat, Samus's corruption level reached a critical point. Thankfully, Aurora 217 continued its research and finally located planet Phase, where Dark Samus had retreated with the stolen Aurora 313 unit. Samus and Admiral Dane led the Galactic Federation fleet through a wormhole left by a Leviathan battleship. And utterly destroyed Dark Samus and all Phazon, causing Phase to self-destruct. The bounty hunter picked up her price. But as she departed, was followed by a ship resembling that of Silex.
With the Phazon threat sorted out, one issue still bothered the Galactic Federation: the Chozo-engineered Metroids on planet SR-388. As a result, they sent Samus with a simple mission: do the dirty work and get rid of every last Metroid. One by one, the Metroids, Omega Metroids, and ultimately the massive Queen Metroid were all hunted down. However, Samus came across an egg and spared the infant Metroid that hatched from it. She secured the hatchling in a container and departed from the planet. Samus delivered the infant Metroid to the scientists of the Galactic Federation's Ceres space colony, where further research suggested that the powers of the Metroid could be harnessed for the benefit of mankind. Certain that the Metroid was in good care, the bounty hunter departed from the station, but quickly returned after receiving a distress call.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. A dreadful sight of corpses and Ridley met Samus, who kidnapped the infant Metroid and initiated the self-destruct mechanism. Samus tailed the space dragon to Zebes and discovered that the pirate base destroyed in her Zero mission had secretly been rebuilt and expanded during the Phazon crisis. Things could easily have gone out of hand as she went on her monster hunt and took down good old Kraid, the ghost Phantoon, the disgusting Dragon, and finally the arch-nemesis Ridley deep in Norfair. Ridley's corpse opened the way to the Metroid-infested Turian, where a new type of Metroid was encountered, the Super Metroid, or the modified baby Metroid, which, ashamed of hurting its mother, did not kill Samus and floated away. The bounty hunter was standing eye to eye with the second mother brain, and without hesitation, shattered the control capsule and fired her missiles at her. In a surprise twist, she unleashed her giant mechanical body to counter Samus. It seemed as all was lost when Mother Brain repeatedly fired off her deadly laser attack, leaving Samus near death. But in the moment she was to fire the final shot, the infant Metroid intervened and latched on Mother Brain, draining her energy and transferred it to its mom. Unfortunately, Mother Brain was not yet a corpse and exacted a cruel vengeance, killing the infant Metroid by firing a series of laser shots at it. With a loud scream of pain, the infant Super Metroid burst into 1,000 pieces, falling at Samus's power suit.
Full of anger, Samus unleashed the Hyper Beam, turned Mother Brain into toast, and triggered the self-destruct mechanism for the entire planet. On her way out, the bounty hunter rescued a group of Edacoons and Decoras, and then, with sentiment, took off, bearing witness as her and the Chozo's former home was turned into ashes. Zebes was invariably lost. The space pirates were presumed to be gone, and the Metroids, long history. But the tragedy was not over for Samus, as shortly after debriefing, she received a distress call from a Federation battleship. There, she was quickly reunited with Commander Adam Malkovich and her former squad of the Federation battleship.
Samus joined the 7th Platoon in the investigation after being greeted by Anthony Higgs, but had to accept that Adam was handing out the orders. This also applied to the use of her weapons and power suit upgrades. After some initial searches, Samus discovered that the research station had been used for gathering Zebesian space pirates and other deadly creatures intended for Special Forces units, and harvesting Metroids as weapons based on the extracted DNA of the baby Metroid from her power suit. Upon meeting what would turn out to be the artificial Mother Brain and the cause of the havoc on the station, she was attacked by a traitor from Adam's squad, the Deleter. Following a post-traumatic stress disorder encounter against the new Ridley, she had to witness Adam enter and sacrifice his life when he detached and blew up Sector 0 from the inside. MB then attempted to crash the battleship into Federation territory, but was prevented to do so by Anthony Higgs. Samus and the Galactic Federation Marines put an end to MB's miserable being and blew up the battleship.
Sometime after the incident on the battleship, Samus Aran was assigned to watch over a biological research team on planet SR-388. This task would turn out to be dangerous, as Samus was infected by an X-parasite after killing a Hornoid. At first, it seemed that nothing had happened, and being unaware of the parasite residing in her body, she departed the Biological Space Laboratory Research Center. Shortly after takeoff, Samus lost her consciousness and her gunship headed straight into a nearby asteroid field. At the last second prior to impact, her escape pod was launched, and Samus was found by the Federation scientists of BSL. Back at Federation headquarters, the infected portions of her organic power suit were surgically removed, and to save her from certain death, she was injected with a serum developed from the DNA of the deceased infant Metroid. The scientists modified Samus's power suit, creating the fusion suit, and granted her a new gunship with a built-in voiced computer named by Samus, Adam, in honor of her former and now deceased commander. Fully equipped, she was ordered to investigate the BSL.
The X was more vicious than initially presumed, and one of them, the SAX, had taken the form of her former fully armored power suit and was now hunting Samus. But it was before Samus entered the restricted lab where the Galactic Federation had been cloning Metroids for their own utility. It was at this point that Samus turned against the Galactic Federation, and Adam attempted to restrain her until Federation police would arrive. Instead, Samus persuaded and convinced the computer to destroy both the station and SR-388. As Samus had suspected, the personality of the computer was indeed based on her former commander, Adam Malkovich. The Federation's intervention was imminent, and Samus knew that every second counted. She confronted the SAX, destroyed the Core X and the Omega Metroid, and directed the Federation research station to impact SR-388. With it, she fulfilled the will of her Chozo parents, the destruction of the X-Parasite, and the Metroids to restore peace to the galaxy. Samus's betrayal against the Galactic Federation was complete, and in her mid-20s, she had become an enemy of the state, a rogue and lonely hunter with nowhere to go. Her further fate remains to this day unknown. But what is certain, it would not be an easy feat to hunt down the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy